We finna talk about it. Cause they still bullshitting out there. They trying to make y'all think it ain't what it is. Fuck. We gonna talk about it, bruh. Cause they playing. GCPOA. GCPOA. That is how you support a terroristic organization. GCPOA. What's that, Milkman? I'll tell you. GCPOA is an agreement with a bunch of terrorists. We'll unfreeze their assets. They can make missiles, ballistic missiles, in exchange for them promising not to make nukes. That's what the GCPOA is, right? All right, cool. So now we got a bunch of terrorists, 100 billion in assets released, who pissed off at the world because they feel like we supporting their mortal enemies. And hey, rightfully so. We fought with Israel over here, clearly. We had their back during this whole debacle. But that being said, we go through all this. We have our time of trying to be peaceful with them. Then our president comes back in 2018 and says, y'all got too much freedoms up in this motherfucker. I can't go for that. I can't do it. President Trump, during his presidency, his first presidency, decided that the GCPOA was not an appropriate action because it gave the Iranians too much free will and too much goddamn money to be out here making missiles. For a handshake that they'll be better, right? And they'll submit to random testing or all this other bullshit. You know how it go. So when we pull out, guess what they do? Go right back to making nukes. They have weaponized uranium in Iran. Weaponized uranium. Bruh. All the ignorant motherfuckers who be hopping on this chat and saying, he's stupid and done it. What you think Iran gonna do with a goddamn nuke? Would you imagine Saddam Hussein, ISIS, Syria with a nuke? Come on, bro. Let's cut the cap for a second, bro. If we didn't drop that bomb yesterday, not only was they gonna continue to bomb Israel, and whichever way you look at that, innocent people are being bombed. I want you to know that. Iran is bombing innocent people when they bomb Israel. They're not looking to goddamn kill military installments. No, they're trying to actually bomb civilians. So, regardless of how you feel about that, that's what happens with the money that we allot for them through the GCPOA. And when Trump decided to go ahead and send those missiles, that was his final straw on that shit. Because he already backed out on his first presidency. And then look what they turned around and did, bro. They made nukes. So now they have ballistic missiles and nukes. What do you think terrorists are going to do with ballistic missiles and nukes? Right? Because they didn't respect you enough to stop in the first place. They wasn't, when they signed the deal in 2015, bro, the folks had just started, quote unquote, dismantling their nukes in Iran, bro. That's what they was doing, or dismantling the process of weaponizing their uranium. They didn't have nukes yet in 2015. They didn't have nukes yet, but they did have uranium that they were learning how to weaponize. And they, quote unquote, were gonna stop trying to advance the weaponizing of the uranium so that they could make nukes back in 2015, right? As long as we allowed them to still make ballistic missiles that they could shoot at Israel, they was cool on it. Well, they fucked around and they found out about Donald Trump back in 2018, and he said, you know what? I'm not finna let y'all keep doing this ballistic shit. We're not finna let y'all have $100 billion in assets so that you can fund terroristic organizations around the world. We done with this shit. We backing out. And he backed out of the GCPOA. He took the troops with him too. And guess what? We was done with that shit. But Iran was not done with that shit. They kept bombing Israel. They kept making nukes. Or they kept weaponizing their uranium. Now they have nukes. No matter what they trying to tell you on social media and what you thinking, bro, Iran got nukes. That's the whole reason we got them bombing it, bro. Or excuse me, 50% of it, maybe 60, 65. The other 35 is because they won't stop fighting with Israel, no matter what happens. They hate Israel and they never will stop. I mean, this shit been going on for millennia, bro. Like, it just is what it is. And nothing that Trump did or didn't do yesterday was going to change that. It also wasn't going to change the fact that they have nukes now in Iran, and they've been working on it pretty much since we left the GCPOA. And whether you want to blame that on Trump or not, he did it for a reason, bro. Because these folks was still making ballistic weapons and shooting it at our allies. What the fuck else do you think was gonna happen, bro? Like, Joe Biden didn't fuck with Iran. He clearly was trying to goddamn do shit under the table so that he can get them to stop trying to make nukes. He's sending money to Israel so that they can fight, but he know what's going on, bro. Joe Biden knew for the whole presidency he wasn't trying to stop the shit. Kamala knew. If she would have got in office, guess what would have happened? It either would have been more talking while Israel made more nukes, continue to bomb it, or excuse me, not Israel. It would have been more talking where Iran made more nukes and continue to bomb Israel until they go back and forth with nuclear weapons. And we just gonna keep sending Israel money as they whole nation just go to fucking pieces, bro. Like, let's not play. GCPOA, that is the bill that was signed that allowed Iran to have ballistic missiles as long as they stop weaponizing their uranium. And then they weaponize their uranium. Still. They still weaponize their uranium. They wasn't gonna stop, bruh. They wasn't gonna stop bombing Israel. They wasn't gonna stop sending weapons to Syria and Yemen. It wasn't going to stop, bro. And shit, I'm my lady on the way home. I just, man, folk up here scared, bro. They acting like shit ain't what it is, bro. Like, the shit been like this since they fucking hit us in 9/11, bro. And it just wasn't gonna change. We had to goddamn put the foot down. So, gang, y'all have a good day, man. I'm finna slide. Catch y'all later.